And one of those things, ladies and gentlemen, that I believe sports has told us about and given us a wonderful view of history and how our country is moving forward and changing is a topic that can be controversial to some. I think it's the greatest law in our country in the last 40 years, and that is, of course, Title IX. Now, when we talk about women in sports media, I would also offer that we are talking about the emergence of women in sports through Title IX. What is Title IX? Signed by Richard Nixon, of all people, in 1972. Title IX basically opened the playing fields of America to not only the boys in this country, but also the girls. Can you imagine a time in our country where we as a nation literally put up our hand and said to 50% of our country, no, you cannot do this? That's what was happening in this country for generations prior to the implementation, the signing of Title IX in June of 1972. By the way, it coincides completely with the life of Mia Hamm. If you want to look at the personification of Title IX, I would offer Mia Hamm, born in March of 1972, as an example of what Title IX means. And there's, I'm sure, many examples of it in your kitchen every morning, if not on the playing fields every afternoon and on weekends. And for those of you who've grown up in sports, the women in the audience, of course, and the men who probably have had daughters and sisters playing sports with you, the reality, of course, is you know it. You've lived Title IX. You probably don't even think about Title IX, which I think is success in and of itself. But anyway, at this time in our country, there was such a feeling that girls did not belong in sports that here I was, being this girl who was the tomboy of the neighborhood. And I often ask this when I give speeches, if the girls, young women in the audience want to think about how many organized teams you played on before your freshman year of high school. And this is not a quiz, but if anyone can quickly think, go through, starting with t-ball and little pee-wee soccer at age 5, everything, travel, anything that you had a jersey or a hat, a coach, orange slices at the end, anything at all. I would have been one of those girls, literally pulling off one jersey in the back seat of the car, putting on another jersey, from travel soccer to in-house volleyball or lacrosse. Sports, nonstop sports, age 5, 6, 7, all the way up to your freshman year of high school. How many sports? Is anyone coming up with any of the young women? Yes? 3 teams total? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. That's great, but I was thinking more like 41. In other words, every possible team you've been on. I asked this question at Bluffton College, and a woman said 41. So all the 7th grade teams, all the 8th grade teams. I think the numbers, my nieces are up in the 30s and 40s as well, of organized teams before freshman year of high school. Of course, can anyone guess how many I had before freshman year of high school, the biggest jock in Toledo? 0. And that is how amazing Title IX has been in our country. That all those fields that you drive by now and see, you probably think nothing if you see all girls on the field. Back in the 60s and 70s, even, of course, the 50s and 40s, you would have only seen boys. And I really think, ladies and gentlemen, that all these opportunities that you mentioned and others, all these chances to play sports, it's not about creating professional athletes or Olympic athletes. That's a bonus. It's about creating better people. Whatever that girl that you see in the kitchen every morning, whether she's going to be a mom, a doctor, a lawyer, scientist, journalist, teacher, whatever she's going to be, she will be better at it because she played sports, because she learned about winning and losing at a young age, because she learned about teamwork and sportsmanship. And that her brother and the brother's brothers and the fathers and before all had that chance, and girls didn't. And now we are giving our daughters that chance. So as you can tell, I'm kind of a big fan of Title IX, and it is definitely such an important law in our country. And I believe, looking ahead, that women will be running for president on all tickets and vice president in the 20s, 30s, and 40s in this country. And the one common denominator for all those women will be that they played sports and that they were babies, they were Title IX babies. I think it's that significant of a deal. And how does this dovetail with women in sports journalism and opportunities for women to, we now have over 1,000 women covering sports in this country, newspapers, TV, radio, all over the internet, of course. How does this dovetail? It's called acceptance. It's called open-mindedness. love to share with you some of the letters I received early on when I was covering the Washington Redskins, except I don't think I could, because I don't think they would be the kind of thing you'd like to see and the words that you'd like to see. I had several letters where people would say, go back to the kitchen where you belong, and I responded with, oh, no, 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 you do not want to see me in the kitchen, no matter what. And I didn't take it very seriously because I couldn't, but the reality was that there was a mindset in this country, and I hope it doesn't exist, maybe there's still lingering pockets of it, that women couldn't do these things. And now, of course, women can. And I think Title IX is every bit the reason, that sense that, of course, girls are playing sports like their brothers, that you kind of look strange if a girl isn't playing sports, if she is standing on the sideline, when it used to be, of course, that cheerleader was the best job you could have in sports. And now, well, it's fine if you want to be a cheerleader. I would say go out and play, be active. As Paula Creamer, the great LPGA golfer, says, her dad gave her two choices. You can stand on the sideline and cheer for other people, or you could go out there and be cheered for.